actually. So give us just a minute to make sure everything's working properly, and we'll be good to go. Now, as experience has taught us, we need to make sure everything's properly synced up when we are playing the N-Sane Trilogy, for whatever reason. So let's just do that really quickly. Let me see. 1, 2, 1, 2. Once more. 1, 2, 1, 2. Perfect. Alright then, let me crack open a drink here and we can hit the road. Obviously we're going to be running a bit late tonight since we started slightly late. We've got about an hour of Crash 3's endgame for you. Might be able to get everything important wrapped up, might not. Still gonna have to come back and try that Future Tense level designed specifically for this re-release or remake trilogy at some point, but might be able to clear up everything else, and then it's on to Spyro 2 for possibly that game's conclusion. We got what? 4 stages of Speedway and then Ripto, and as far as I'm aware, that's the end of that particular game. But, as to this one, we've got a fair bit of work to do, including getting the gems from Area 51. Let's see, where should we begin tonight? I think we ought to go try and pick up the last couple relics from... Hey, MC, how's it going, man? Sorry we're a bit late starting tonight, but hopefully we're going to get a lot done. Why don't we go try picking up those relics from the race stages that we didn't run it? And Spanners! Good to see you, my friends. Glad you're here. Spanner says crash more like rash. Well, on certain stages, that is definitely the case. Let's see, I think, as painful as the race stages are, getting at least a blue relic in each shouldn't be, you know, or a sapphire relic, I'm sorry, shouldn't be terribly hard. We've actually done really well with relic collection. Oh yeah, and the Coco run stages we still have to get some relics for. So yeah, why don't we try for the Midnight Run relic? Because we all know how good I am at these, right? Oh, damn, yep, already. The trick to the time trials in these stages is knowing when you can hold down that run button and just get some insane time. Damn. And when you're going to be able to reload. Spanner says, very important question, is Sapphire above or below Ruby? Because we all know Rubies are better, but society loves blue. Actually, there are only Sapphire, Silver, or no, Sapphire, Gold, and Platinum relics in these games. I don't know, I would imagine that the Ruby relic... Well, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. There are Rubies, sort of, studded within most of the relics, including the Sapphire relics, I want to say. Ooh, damn! This stage is gonna be nightmarish. This might be one of them we have to take a mulligan on. That's good. Oh yeah, and we also have to remember that we can just kind of avoid the dragon kites entirely by running straight ahead of them. Whew! Are we gonna... Holy crap, guys. That was... exhilarating, actually. Spanner says silver and bronze got shafted. Damn, that sucks. They're my favorite brass alloy. And silver. And who put all these boxes on the Great Wall? I guess Cortex's goons, who are in the, in sort of the very stylized Warring States era armor. Well, that's some progress right there. Now we've already got relics from almost all stages, except my absolute least favorites, the motorcycle racing stages, which again aren't bad. I'm just not, you know, terribly proficient at them, and they tend to be kind of demanding. Now I hope, right, that to get the relic we just have to cross the finish line within a certain time limit instead of in a certain position, like, you know, you have to win and finish within a certain amount of time. There we go. As an American, I can confirm that this is more or less what the entire West looks like. Until you go a bit further east or north, you hit the Midwest, and it's like this, but corn. Beautiful landscapes, of course, just, you know, somewhat sparsely settled. Or inhabited, I should say. Okay, so we're you know, doing alright so far. Whew! Would have been great to nail all four of those, but, you know, what you gonna do? Ooh, that's gonna hurt us, but probably not axe our chances of getting a sapphire. Oh, and thankfully, I've not been keeping up to date on the particulars of the story, but thankfully, it appears that Crash 4 will not have out-and-out microtransactions. There might be, I guess, DLC or something, maybe? Or, like, additional skins, or, you know, what have you. But no microtransactions as such, which is great, because I would be apoplectic if I found out that, like, a mascot platformer had microtransactions for whatever reason. Like, why would you even need those? Ah! Rats. Did we get a relic, though? That's the important thing. No, we did not. Yikes. No, tell you what, we're going to go back to the Time Twister and see... Oh, Spanner says, damn, Cortex loves crates. That's the real reason Crash and him fight. Well, he has been polluting the islands, we know that much, so maybe he's polluting them with wood. What is the target time? Apoplectic? Apoplectic, it means, like, absolutely inconsolable, really ginned up, worked up. We might be able to do this. And if we can't, that's okay, because there are other stages we can earn them relics from. Hashtag earn them relics. Well, That's not going to help. See, Crash, you're supposed to stay out of the hole. Unlike, well, you know, your career for roughly the past 10 years. I actually remember the third race, at least in terms of its track layout, being a little bit less demanding than this. Ah. Ah! Come on. Four seconds, yes, please. Ooh. This one's, gonna be close. Very close, come on. No, no! We were 0.12 seconds, not... You know, MC says up to the player to not drive in the holes. I know, but let me have my fun. Spanner says, see, I kinda guessed that, because there's a Ben 10 alien species called Apoplexians that are perpetually angry cats, and the name gonna take inspiration from somewhere. Oh, I haven't seen Ben 10 in ages, but I remember really liking that show when I was younger, like the original. I never saw any of the spin-offs or the remake. There you go. Not driving in holes, or falling into holes, rather. Superior to driving into holes. Take notes, kids. Used to be able to go right around that barricade with ease. But I guess that's what happens when you step away from Crash. You let your guard down. And apparently, at least in the original release, if you noticed a while back, there was that caution sign with, like, a logo of an alien's head on it. If we drove directly into that, I think we might be able to have been able to access the, like, special Area 51 race a bit earlier. Like, without meeting the relic requirement. Don't know that for certain, though. I think that was the case in the original release, at least. Which, you know, that's actually a very damn cool little secret. Whew. That was close. We're gonna get it this time, though. Yeah. Oh man, the platinum for this must be merciless. Spanner says anything from the Origins run all the way to all the series before the reboot is great, in my opinion. I've heard that. Didn't they kind of Teen Titans Go it for the reboot? And now, to be fair, I've heard from people a bit more invested in the series than I, that the reboot is not necessarily bad. It's perfectly good as like a little comic series, but it's not, it doesn't serve the same types of interest or audience that the original run did. Unlike Teen Titans Go, which just kind of, you know, took a really violent dump all over one of my favorite franchises from my youth. I mean, I love that it makes people happy and it's got this really devoted younger audience, that's great, but Why'd it have to be that show, you know? Couldn't they have done that to, like, one of the programs from, like, the DC animated universe that people didn't care quite so much about? Like, Superman the Animated Series, which was great, but not the best of its generation. Spanner says they did kind of TTG it, but it's not bad by any means, just kind of more comedy driven. Has some cool stuff scattered in. Yeah, that's basically what I've heard. How many we got? 24 relics, y'all. So if we can manage this, then we'll be able to access all of the bonus stages. And at least for the purposes of this stream, we won't need to acquire all of their relics. Well, there's just 3 of them. There's that cool, like, jet ski challenge stage we saw a couple streams ago. There's an equally cool, but extremely difficult race we're going to be working on tonight. And there's, I believe, like a final biplane stage. And if you saw our earlier streams, you know how much I adore the biplane, like, dogfighting segments. Well, biplane segments with some dogfighting would be more apt, but you get what I mean. Whew. Every little burst of speed will count here. Good. No! No! It's okay. It's okay. You can recover from one. You can always recover from one. Oh, probably should have swerved around that one, but hey. What you gonna do? We might get this, we might not. But I think that kind of applies to everything, right? Ooh. Oh. Getting those boxes would have been a godsend. Any of them. Ah. Crud. We won the race, but... Oh, and we got the relic. Okay, yeah, fine. Never mind, never mind. Like, scratch all of my worrying and complaining. We're good. We're the best. Best ever. Yeah. Yeah, you know, so, not bad. It'd be a decent challenge, really, but I mean, not anything overwhelming. I mean, you know, that's just how most things are when you reach our level, you know what I'm saying? Alright, let's head on over to that secret warp room. MC says winning the race and getting at least the lowest time trial seems to be tied, or roughly equivalent. Yeah, it does. I think it's a little bit different on that second course, just because, and this could be me, the second course seems to be a little bit less tightly designed, and I don't mean that in terms of competency. I mean, there are more areas where the player could, like, really maximize the efficiency of their maneuvers versus just taking the road head on. But on that last stage, yeah, there's more hazards like moving police cars and holes in the road and all that, but you basically have the constant choice of, do I hit the obstacle, do I not? Do I take the ramp or the boost that's right in front of me, or do I not? And there's not a whole lot you can do to really directly maximize the efficiency of your route, or just drop off entirely. Spanner says, oh, I've been meaning to ask, do you still use that Twitter account you made last year? I'll have to, like, start using it again. I haven't. I'm mainly active in our Discord, which you can find a link to right down below. We'd love to have you. But I will need to break that thing out of cold storage. And yes, it is a biplane. Oh, it's a biplane ring stage. Well, that's still a biplane stage. Let's see if we can do this UFO race. It's not the hardest race, I would contend. The hardest is probably still going to be the second one. But, like, our first attempt, we came in second, which isn't bad. Especially as I didn't realize there's a Discord. Oh, there is. We just need to... I need to remember to advertise it a bit more heavily. Now, where are our opponents, you may ask? Well, they're already on the road and well ahead of us. They are these delightful little UFOs. And they do that a lot. Now, here's the thing. By my best reading of it, the UFOs themselves are actually quite a bit slower than Cortex's dragsters. However, their real advantage is, well, their size, as well as the fact that they are spread out really, really broadly across the track. Oh no, damn! I think I fell in that our first time through as well. So here, with the poor visibility and the like, your enemy, like your big enemy, is really the road itself and not the UFOs. They're just kinda here more than anything else. Let's retry that, because there's no way we're getting that at this point. We could get close, because again, with all the boosts, the UFOs aren't the fastest thing in the world. The visibility is intentionally really poor. And I don't know that we'll be getting all the gems on these tonight. I will actually be perfectly content, for the purposes of this like little showcase, to at least beat these stages and get one gem apiece from each. Now, getting both gems from the biplane stage I don't think should be too tough. He says, totally not just because he really likes the biplane stages. There you go. Here we go. Yeah. Dodge that one. And that light cruiser just drove straight into a ravine, or a break in the road. Little slalom, of course. Ooh. Are we gonna do this? Y'all, are we gonna do this? Didn't get all the boxes, but it's fine. We got our gem for completion. Yeah, yeah. Spanner says, already joined that. Now my only excuse for missing the streams is sleeping. Oh, don't worry, man. I'm glad you can join us at any time. Thanks for joining the Discord. We're always glad to have you. And MC says this stage is hell, but I love the theme. Yeah, so do I. I think the idea of, like, you've got this desert locale, you've had to drive around for 3 stages now, and now you're just, like, racing against very leisurely aliens for a couple gems. And originally that was, like, a totally secret bonus stage, as I said, in the original release, I think. It's great. I think it's adorable. And I kind of wish the other races had you competing against different enemies, at least, instead of the same dragsters every time, because just the aesthetic difference there is really, really cool. As is the idea of the real challenge being navigating in a low-light condition with lots of hazards in the road, as opposed to building up the most speed you can. Because as we said, or as I said many times, the UFOs aren't that fast. They take up a lot of space and can fly or hover above ground so as to not properly telegraph obstacles ahead of you sometimes. But aside from, like, blocking your way, they don't really pose a lot of challenge. It's everything else. Yeah, it's really cool. As the racing stages go, that might be my favorite. And Spanner says, where does his jacket go when he jumps? I didn't notice it vanished. I had no idea. Okay, and so before we swap over to Spyro and ring it out, let's, take on the, oh, lovely Superman 64, ring stage. Ah, but each ring's going to make us faster, isn't it? Yes, of course it is. So we can't get all the boxes, that's fine. I would be fine with just, winning this race, I guess? Spanner says Daddy Kong Racing. Kind of. Yeah, like, this is ostensibly a race, but, like... no! 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 That was, why do they have to do this to the biplane stages, like the aerial combat stages I really liked? Why did they decide, oh, no, 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 no. No, this needs to be a racing stage too. Okay, so each ring gives you like a little speed boost, that's nice. We'll avoid the all-box gem for now and just try to get the one gem for actually, you know, winning this thing. Okay, doing a bit better this time around. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no. Ah! What? Okay, so there's some kind of boost ability that I'm just not aware of. Okay. Except there isn't, so maybe... Ah, that's it. You spin as you fly through each of them. Oh, God. Oh, this is... Okay, so, like, the other two special stages were really cool variations on their mini-games, like Central Mechanics. I'll come right out with it, though. I do not like this at all. The biplane is not built, nor its controls built for speed, but rather for precision. And they've decided they want your last memory of this thing. After, remember, I think the last time we used it was either to take down the bomber wing or for that awesome engine boss fight. And they want your last memories of it to be Superman 64. Ah! Jesus Christ! So, there are a couple ways I could do this. The box gem would actually be really, really easy to get, I think. Unreal. So speed control is going to be a big thing here. Perhaps. Unless to satisfy my own personal requirement that we get a gem from each stage, we just go for the box gem and put this on the back burner and maybe dedicate the rest of our time with this first hour to trying the special stage created for the N-Sane remake, Future Tense, which is apparently both very challenging and insanely well designed, like encouraging use of each of your power-ups in ways that the core game doesn't, and serving as a really nice bookend to this entire collection. Oh, no, 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 no! It's always those ones on the curves. Okay. So I'm pretty well convinced. I'm thoroughly convinced we're just gonna go for the box gem here, and then check out that special stage. Spanner says, but what is the best video game power-up? Oh, jeez. If you're asking for a comedic answer, I'm not entirely sure what we go for here. But if you're asking for, like, my personal answer... Oh... like, classic power-ups. So, this might be a really weird answer, but I was always oddly fond of this power-up from Rayman 3. That allowed you to, instead of simply detaching your fists and using them as standard projectiles, turn them into, like, guided missiles that you could direct in through, like, an over-the-shoulder rocket cam view. It was very, very cool. And actually got some decent use in puzzles throughout the game. Oh. Jesus. Okay. It's okay. We can do it. I've decided I'm just laming this out, so we're getting that box gem. I feel like as a whole, as cool as like 2 out of 3 of them are, the stages in this like final world do feel just a smidge underwhelming due to how incredibly varied and insanely well designed the core game stages were. But that isn't just a Crash 3 problem, honestly. That's something or an issue a lot of platformers, both from back in the day and the modern day, have, is like design for their special worlds, or like, you know, bonus stages or content that are unlocked as like completion rewards, tend to be a little bit on either the bland side or the like hastily designed side. And here I'm feeling a little bit of both. Spanner says, me personally, I played in SNB loads as a kid, and I've become absurdly good at using the blue shell because of it. Love speedrunning level 5B with it. I adore the blue shell, and I'm also, like a lot of people aren't, but I'm oddly fond of the mini mushroom. Loads of fun to use, especially like running along the surface of the water and performing extremely generous wall jumps with the insane hang time you have. Good stuff, man. Alright, but with that said, let's try what is ostensibly the hardest level in the entire game. And it's going to be another one of these wonderful future-based stages, Future Tense. We get 1 gem just for completing it, I believe, and another gem for getting all the boxes. Hey, Maisie, good to see you. It's been a while. Glad you're here. You come for an auspicious occasion. We are going to be trying this brand new and apparently very difficult Crash 3 stage added for the remaster, or remake. I always say remaster when I mean remake. Now, this stage has been specifically designed with all of our powers in mind. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be kind of tough, I could tell. Oh, everything's doing great, Macy. Thanks so much for asking. Spanner says, I can't speak for most AAA games, but the post-game completion bonus in Odyssey was great. Yeah, Odyssey was great all around. Like a real high mark for quality in modern AAA platformers as a whole. I would love to see just a straight sequel to that. I mean, come on now. If Nintendo has enough ideas left over from Galaxy, it warrants a second game. Gotta give Odyssey some extra love. There we go. Just move faster. That's the answer. As he said, oh, you got a new position at work. Oh, congratulations. That's incredible. Good for you. I hope, you know, the work is going to be both fulfilling and not too stressful due to, well, the world just being in absolute shambles right now. I'm so happy for you, though. Great job. Well deserved, no doubt. Yikes! Yikes, yikes. Or we could do that. We could just, like, run around him. Spanner says, I need Odyssey 2 to play as a tree more. Well, that, and there's so many, like, motifs and, like, really vibrant architectural and cultural styles from around the world they could have explored. Okay, so obviously, as you can see, this is some pretty complex, not absurd yet, but very well-designed platforming. I'm digging it. Okay. Well, let's get rid of these guys the only way we know how. With our gun. Break those the only way we know how. With our gun. Whew. That was closer than I care for it to be. There's no switch reflected in the building, is there? No. Well, that is a wireframe box we might not be getting right away. Spanner says, oh yeah, my student finance request got approved today. Congratulations, man. Everybody's got good news today. That's awesome. That is absolutely excellent. What are you going to be studying? Or what are you studying, I should say? There we go. Nice. Oh, yikes. So we're going to want to explore that, of course. Oof. Not quite what we're looking for. That's the way. Hey. Not as smooth as I was expecting that to go, but we'll take it. Bonus stage time. Let's go. Spanner says computer science, looking forward to it in spite of COVID complications. Well, best of luck to you, man. It's obviously a field that is always going to be in demand, and I think you can do fantastically in. And obviously, I'm not intimately familiar with the UK's educational system, despite looking at graduate school at Edinburgh before I decided on history as my postgrad. But if at any point you would just like the opinion or assistance of somebody who does work in a higher ed system, even if unfortunately it's this one, oh, damn. Feel free to ask. I'm happy to help with anything related to academics, particularly dealing with administration and things like that. MC says, computer science is fun. I used to troll the life out of those folks. And Maisie says, we're all proud of you. So true. Just as we're proud of you, Maisie. Don't ever forget. People getting promotions, people getting student financial aid. Man, it is a good day. It is a good day despite everything else that's going on in the world. So happy for all of you. You know what? I'm gonna leave those boxes. I just want to get to the end here. I just want to get to the end for now. For now. You happy? Crash Bandicoot, you have, like, just beaten and woed me into resignation. Oh, check that out. Box that was only visible in the reflection of the, or the reflection on the side of the building. Right, so is this anything we can access? Yes, it is. Lots of divergent paths here. Opportunities to use just about everything we've learned throughout the game. This is good stuff. Oh! Lord. Even though the Bandicoot has, like, beaten me to the point of complete and total surrender, I think this is really great design. Oh, that was close, that was close. Spanner says, man, the reflection thing is reminding me of how Alucard can't spawn as an assist trophy on Wii Fit Studio because of the mirror. Oh, is that true? Man, that's some incredible attention to detail. That's amazing. Speaking of, idea for a future stream. Did you know I've never actually played Symphony of the Night? Always meant to, just never got around to it. Really want to, of course. There we are. Huh. Huh. That should give us a way back up, right? Right. Oh, there's our nitro detonator. Whew. Oh, damn. Maisie says Castlevania is shockingly a lot of fun to play. I didn't think I'd enjoy it. Bosses had to be stumped, though. Or had me stumped. Which Castlevania are you referring to? Symphony of the Night? Like, the one everybody goes on and on about? I absolutely adored, and this is a controversial opinion, Castlevania Lords of Shadow on the PS3 and Xbox 360, I think. Heavily inspired by God of War, had this phenomenal, like, artistic direction, and extensive involvement from Hideo Kojima. Oh, and of course Patrick Stewart voices the Grim Reaper, so there's that. Maisie says, I played the Game Boy Advance when the one that's not canon, the Blood Moon something. I think I know what you're talking about, and if that's the case, I played the same exact game, I want to say. Spanner says, see me personally, I think Simon's Quest is the best one. Oh, man. Gonna have to remember we cannot sit still at any point on this particular balcony. Well, no, see, I think, like, yeah, Simon's Quest, that's alright, but now if you want to get down with the real stuff, you need to play, like, Castlevania Adventure, the very first one, on the classic Game Boy. Now that's where it's at. As he says, it's the only one I've tried. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's like Curse of the Moon or something, it's really good. I promise you I've got the wrong name, but it's something like that. Also, reminds me, I've really got to get around to playing the Bloodstained games, especially now that I believe a sequel has been announced. Those look absolutely lovely. Spanner says, ain't there one on N64 that sucks ass? Yes, there is. There's two, actually. There is the baseline Castlevania 64 that people really dislike, and having played it, I can attest personally, yeah, it's not great. And there was a re-release in some region, not a re-release, like an expansion called Castlevania 64 Legacy of Darkness that added, shit. That is really clever. Like, little cheap, but clever too. It's my fault, I'm not remembering that. It had a couple playable characters, quite a few stages, things like that, and apparently the Legacy of Darkness version, well, it doesn't exactly play better, but, like, the content they added is, you know, alright enough. Yeah, the N64, like, 3D Castlevanias historically have not been well received until, actually, I would say Lords of Shadow, which got like, pretty solid reviews overall. Then they released a 3DS game that was really flawed. Then they released a sequel that was apparently just absolutely atrocious. Without Kojima or his studio's involvement, for the most part, as I'm aware. There were a couple on the PlayStation 2 that have, like, enjoyed a really mixed reception. Ooh. Oh, man. No, 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 no! Oh, that's tight, but it's... Spanner says Castlevania had a rocky transition into 3D, to say the least. But a lot of it, at least in the case of, I think, the PS2 games, which were, by all accounts, like, decent to good-ish, was, like, series fans just weren't looking for something like that. And you can say much the same about Lords of Shadow, the first one, anyway. Now, I did play one of the DS games, not Portrait of Ruin, but, it's like Harmony of Dissonance or something like that. Anyway, it was really good. Banner says every 3D Sonic games reviews has that line and it pisses me off, like, we get it. Yeah, and I would honestly contend that there's quite a few 3D Sonic games that have been pretty good, including recent ones. People talk all the time about, like, you know, Generations Colors. Yeah, fine. But even Sonic Heroes was, you know, a pretty solid, if kind of unremarkable game. And you know what? Unpopular opinion time. Shadow the Hedgehog, like, from a plot and production perspective, was a horrible idea. But as a game, it was, you know, mediocre. Nothing to write home about, for good or for ill. Did we make it? Did we get that gem? Oh, thank you so much, Maisie. That was incredible kindness, and honestly today, well, at any point, really, with everything that's been going on out in the world, I think we all need that, myself especially. Thank you so much. I appreciate the praise, and I only hope that I can continue to be worthy of it. Well, I do my best. I'm still learning my way around this, and easing my way into this whole, you know, online broadcasting thing, so having folks like you, all of you, really, whether you've been active in chat or not, around to accompany me and, you know, chat with us and contribute your thoughts and share yourselves with us and with the world. You do just as much, if not more, to shape the character of these streams than I do. So I'm always eternally grateful for all of you. Thank you so much. Spanner says, don't you mean Shadow the Blasty Man? And MC says, I'm disappointed by the overall story evolution of Sonic. Overall, like, plot revolution, I agree. I definitely agree. And Spanners, to your point, here's the thing. I think Shadow the Hedgehog would have been received far, far better if they had just leaned into it a little bit more. Like, as it is, this inherently ridiculous premise, with serviceable but not fantastic gameplay to buttress it, is played completely straight. When, if it had been approached with sort of this tongue-in-cheek, deliberately over-the-top, grimdark vibe, I think it would have sold, like, to an audience a lot better. A lot better. And it's a shame, because that's the only game I know of where you can play a brightly colored cartoon character shooting, like, highly armed paramilitary officers with a toilet seat laser. And no other game's gonna give that to us. Macy says, you really do a great job, you deserve it, and you'll always be worthy. I hope to keep in contact with you for a long while. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I feel the same. You're always welcome here, and again, if there's ever anything I can do in my limited capacity as, like, an academic professional, quote-unquote, just let me know. I'd love to repay this great debt I feel to each and every one of you at any time, any way I can. And Spanner says, we need a next-gen Shadow first-person shooter. Yeah, man. Ooh, and they know we'll get demand... Thank you for the praise as well, Spanners. Sonic Team won't give us guns because they know we'll demand they give Big a Gatling gun. Well, yeah, of course. I mean... Well, first off, Sonic Team won't do anything at all because they'll demand they know at least some of us, meaning like me and nobody else, will demand there be more Big. To be fair, Shadow isn't very brightly colored. He's very early 2000s emo kid. Like, the black and red... Well, actually, no. The black, yes. But he's got these bright red highlights, certain, like, patches of white from the gloves, I believe certain sections of his fur, things like that. And, like, these really garish gold highlights on his shoes. Along with the fact that in many of the games now, his shoes glow or vent off some kind of glowing exhaust. He uses a dark color palette... But he's still very much like a Saturday morning cartoon character. Thank you, Maisie. Thank you for joining the right side of history here. Big is the best. I just wish they gave him something other than pure fishing in Sonic Adventure. And I'm sure the Big the Cat fans do as well. Really quick, guys, since we've explored most of the content of Crash 3, I'm not saying we're done here for good. With that fantastic final stage kind of capping us off for now. We are going to take maybe a 2-3 minute break and swap over to Spyro. So the stream, unfortunately, because of the way PS4 share works, is going to go dead. But if you just stay in the chat room, we'll be live just as soon as I can swap the discs out. So give us just a minute. Just a minute. One moment. We'll be right back.